Hello, Tamers. Sorry to back again today. Today, we'll be taking a crack at not one, but two boxes of the latest set for the Digimon TCG Blast Ace. With this set covering pretty much revamped versions of the Adventure 02 casts, as well as introducing two decks from being based on characters from the Digimon Seekers novel. Well, cracking it on, and putting the second box away now, let's crack on into the first box. And from what we got, going into it, we have 3 promos that come in each box. And well, going in order that best suits it, we'll start with the promotional pack, which is on one of the cards that are in the set. And we end up pulling the new Loogamon, and well, since we're already going into it, we're also going to be discussing a little bit of the new formatting as well. As you can see, compared to to the previous iteration, we now have a new color-coded system off to the side, as well as an indicator for this being an egg, with everything else being pretty much the same as usual. Nope, cracking on. We next go into the survey pack, which is actually a promo, contains a new promo, a promo for the set. And our promo for this box is the new Morphomon, which, as you can see, is pretty much new Eosmon support. And well, cracking on to what is a good highlight. The highlights of these promo packs is the limited card set, which is a carrier of all the training cards for all the colors. Starting off, and well, these trading cards all have an effect that will definitely affect them B meta cards as well. Starting off with Wisdom Training, to be more exact. Each one is a 2 memory costs option. The main effect of top decking 2 to add one retrospective color card from among them, and then return the rest to bot deck in any order. And then, just like the memory boost cards, these options have delay effects. In this case, all the trains have the delay of having one of your Digimon getting to Digivolve, having the Digimon of the same color as the training to be able to Digivolve at a cost of -2. And given the wording, it has to be in response to pretty much trashing this for the delay. Well, as you can see, and as you'll see as we go through them, someone who else gets the spotlight in these across all of these, which is Pulsemon, which makes sense given that Pulsemon is pretty much associated with working out in a sense. Henceforth, it makes sense for him to show up here as an onlooker or a supporter throughout these trainings. Well, cracking on in, it's about time that we crack on into the packs. Starting off, into our first pack, we get the new Ogremon, Shellmon, Marching Fishes, Megadramon, Syakomon, Gessomon, a new Damemon, Rain Angemon, Black King Numemon, and we end up hitting one of the Seeker cards being Loogamon, which is for the Loogamon deck, well, to be more exact, Fenrir Loogamon deck, with Loogamon being one of the best cards for its removal. And well, going into the last two, we get the new Taikamiya, and we end up hitting the new Seraphimon from the set for the vaccine deck, the new vaccine deck that, with this one actually having the 3 Great Angels traits as usual. And well, for vaccine, we end up having pretty much a focus on, well, as you'll eventually find out, an emphasis on security and also pretty much going for face based on security. Cracking on with our right side packs. Gazimon, Vegimon, Dokugamon, and then going in for the Brigademon / Digipolice set, we have a new D-Brigade card in the form of DCD Bomb. And continuing on, Tumon for, well, poop support. Kodokugamon, Triceramon, Centaurimon, and we end up hitting another heavy hitter with Digipolice in the form of High Commandramon, who pretty much doubles as Commandramon by name for pretty much those checks. And continuing on, a new Tyrannomon, and we end up hitting the new Ikakumon, and we end up hitting another heavy hitter for the Loogamon in the form of its specialized tamer, Eiji Nagasumi, whose pretty much main ability, who ends up showcasing, being our first to showcase a new keyword in the form of Mind Link. In which case, you get to place this card, this tamer, as the bomb source for any of the listed Digimon traits. In this case, Eiji gets to Mind Link with a Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos trait Digimon. And as you can see, Eiji comes with a pretty powerful inheritable for the deck and why it's such an OTK deck. In this case, all turns, when this Digimon with Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos trait gains alliance while the Digimon has these 2 traits, it gains alliance and blocker. In which case, if to jog everyone's memory, alliance gives security +1, while adding is a trait that allows you to suspend a allied Digimon on your field when the Digimon that has this trait attacks, and it gains it, and that attack checks for an extra security and adds on the DP of the suspended Digimon you used for the alliance attack. And then for the end of turn, Eiji gets to pretty much de-link at the end of anyone's turn. Therefore, pretty much making it so that his start of main effect is pretty much live pretty easily, as well as playing off of other effects of the Loogamon line. Oh, continuing on. And that was a misrip. We get Goblymon, Marine Devimon, Kawagamon, Poison Ivy, Fangmon, Monochromon, Pummelwhack, Bukamon, Baomon, and another thing to point out as to why the Loogamon deck is so powerful, looking at just the egg itself, Baomon's inheritable allows you to, the Digimon that this is under, as long as it's a Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos trait Digimon, pretty much allows you to, well, actually no, it's actually the discard effect, well, discarding card, as well. You're able to pretty much allow the stack this card is under to pretty much digivolve into a discarded Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos trait Digimon by paying the evolution cost. And well, continuing on, Shogun Gekomon, the new Plesiomon, and we end up hitting with our first super rare from the box, with Loogamon being one of the super rare rookies that you get from this set. In this case, Loogamon's special in the sense that at the start of your main phase, not being tied to a one Digivolving case, you get to place an AG from either hand or trash to the bottom of this Digimon's evolution sources, and then gain 1 memory, which actually plays well with the deck's style. Then, as you can see in the Inheritable, when you play a Digimon with the Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos trait, gain 1 memory, which plays into pretty much the whole pretty much memory efficiency. Well, continuing on, after that good hit, we have Piximon, Mega Flame, and then we end up hitting another one in the Loogamon line with Lugarmon, Otamamon, Kokuwamon, Gizamon, Skullsatamon, the new Sukamon, Lacking Numa, Marine Anja, and we end up hitting a Genai, and we end up hitting a Seeker for the set in the form of the new War Greymon for the set, who's a 12 cost to Digivolve off of level 5, with the alternate Digivolution cost to Digivolve off of a Greymon level 5 at the cost of 4. And while you have a Tamer with Tai in its name, your opponent has a Digimon with 10,000 DP or more, one of your Agumon gets to Digivolve into this card to pretty much warp for 4 into this card. And then when Digivolving, this gains Raid, and then can immediately attack. And then when attacking, if you have a Tamer, this Digimon gains Sec +1 and Piercing for the turn, which ends up pretty much already feeding into the already well-established Greymon decks as well. It pretty much works off of raiding and piercing. No, continuing on. Elecmon, Kunemon, Panjamon, Megadramon, Gazimon, Gatsumon, Dokugamon, Tanimon, Wave of Availability, and that's another thing to point out with the set, as some of these revamp 02 Adventure 01 cards all have, with some of these options, having screenshots from the original anime. Well, continuing on, we get the new Koromon egg, and we end up hitting the new Tamer for Digipolice in Satsuki Tamihime, who, just like AG, gains you a memory if the opponent has a Digimon during your start of your main, and has Mind Link, though specifically, she gets a Mind Link to a Numemon or Monzemon name, or a Digipolice trait. And with her inheritable, granting the Nume or Monze or Digipolice Digimon jamming and reboot, and then gets to Mind Link out during either player's end phase. Well, end of turn. And we end up playing with the new Mimi. Continuing on. Pommel Whack, Poison Ivy, Vademon, Marching Fishes, Monochromon, Marine Devi, Choo-Choo-Mon, and then regular Tokomon Egg, Blooming of Sincerity, Digimon, and we end up hitting one of the new D-Brigade/Digipolice cards, form of Cargodramon, who's on plane when Digivolving, top decks 3 off of the deck, and then you get to play a D-Brigade or Digipolice trait Digimon, who's a play cost of 4 or less among them, without paying the cost and then trashing the rest. In addition, the inheritable actually plays into pretty much the D-Braid's original is swarming, as when one of your other Digimon is deleted, you get to top deck 3 again, and then play out a Commandmon among them without paying the cost. And this ends up also counting towards High Commandmon, who itself counts as Commandmon, not by name. And well, after that, we end up getting Platinum Numemon. Continuing on. Chumon, Denamon, Heaven's Knuckle, Okuamon, Fangmon, Syakomon, Goblimon, Togemon, Suka's Curse for the Sukamon deck, Ghoulmon, and we end up hitting a new Skull Greymon, and behind that we end up hitting the Alt Art Mimi. Nope. Oddly and ironically enough, we end up pulling it in the last pack. For comparison. In this case, it's the usual textured effect and also different art. Nope. Continuing on. DCD Bomb, Shellmon, Mega Flame, Guagamon, Gesso, Lugar, Pixie, Ebemon, and then the egg for Digipolice in the new Missimon for black. Then Emissary of Hope, and tie again, and another SR in the form of the new Agumon, who is actually going to be the new trendsetter for the Greymon deck as well. Start of main, if you have a Tamer with Tire in its name, this may digivolve into a Greymon from the hand without paying the cost, which ends up playing well, given that you end up increasing the speed on how fast you build your stack. In addition, it comes with the pretty much being a better promo Agu, as it also gives the Digimon that's a Greymon or Omnimon name that this is under plus 2000 DP during your turn. Well, continuing on. And another awkward rip. Kodokugumon, Unimon, Dame, Geckomon, Veggie, Kokatorimon, Ogre, Saber Leo, Darkwing's Illusion, Dragon of Courage, and we end up hitting another new Greymon card as well. This one, when attacking, grants itself plus 2000 DP for the turn, and if you have Talon Field, you gain 1 memory. And this one ends up being another one revamp, pretty much a better version of one of the older Greymons, as it also gives a Greymon or Omnimon name plus 2000 during your turn. And the last part we have this set is the new Digipolice Numemon, who is on play, and when digivolving allows you to place Satsuki from the hand as this Digimon's bound evolution cards, and then you get to pick one of your Digimons to gain Rush, even itself. And then the herbal is Give Blocker. And cracking on for this right side, we get down to the last 3 packs, and another awkward rip. Triceramon, Kunemon, Gizamon, Elecmon, Otamamon, Skullsatamon, Kokua, Centoru, Dino Rexmon, And I ended up spoiling myself what was next. Lugar. And we end up hitting the new Rosemon from the set. And another SR hit in the form of the new Commandramon for Digipolice / Digibrigade. And pretty much like all the, well, just like, well, the previous Commandramon who searches, this one also searches with the on-play of revealing the top 5 cards to add one Digibrigade or Digipolice trait among them, and then returning the rest to the top or bottom deck, which pretty much allows you to filter out your deck to pretty much either set up or just filter by placing those cards at the bottom of the deck. Then the inheritable is when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by one of your effects, you get to delete one other D-Brigade trait to prevent it from leaving, which ends up placing this as a pretty good toolbox card for actually blackjacks in general, as Branchless Protection just simply requires you to have a D-Brigade trait Digimon other than the one that this is a part, well, the set this is a part of, to pretty much provide protection against field removal besides the Digivolution. Well, continuing on. We got Poison Ivy, Dame, Lugar, Kawaga, Shell, Pixie, Chu, High Commandra, Tyranno, Shogun Gecko, Greymon, and also another SR hit in the form of the new Gomamon, whose start turn allows you to trash any Digivolution card off of one of your opponent's Digimon, and then this Digimon can't be blocked for the turn, which pretty much is a new idea for pretty much the Zudo or Blue in general as well. You actually have targeted source removal now, rather than being specific to the top or bottom evolution cards. And then the inheritable for this one is when this Digimon would be deleted, you get to play a Gomamon from the evolution cards without paying the cost, which, and it's, well, as you pretty much already tells, allows it to play itself out by its own effect. Now, continuing on. Pommelwhack, Fangmon, Gazimon, Unimon, Marine Devi, Gokatori, Drysera, Ghoul, Missy, Suka, and the new Devimon. And we end up hitting another Genai. And well, that was the last of the right side. Now on to the left. Let me clear the box. Yep, and hit the camera. And continuing on. Gecko, Vade, Monochrome, Mega Flame, Mega Draw, Dokuga, Kugu, Gatsu, Blooming of Sincerity, Dragon of Courage, Abe, Rosemon again, and the new TK. In this case, this new TK on play gets to return the top card of your security stack to hand to then place a yellow vaccine trait from the hand to the bottom of the security. Then during your turn, when a card is added to your security stack, you get to suspend this tamer and then gain 1. Pretty much being self-actuating and then pretty much being further memory gain down the line as well. Vaccine security pretty much revolves around pretty much altering your security stack. And pretty much gaining more security as well. Well, continuing on. Tiako, Dodokugo, Marching Fishes, Veggie, Okuwa, Gobbling, DCD Bomb, Suka's Curse, Wave of Reliability, Dino Rex, Cargodramon, and then Tai Kamiya again. Continuing on. Data, Choo Choo, Gesso, Ogre, Heaven's Knuckle, Panja, Alek, Koro, Darkwing's Delusion, Toge, and then the new Joe Keto, and another AG. Continuing on. Gizamon, Skullsata, Kokokua, Kune, Otamama, Siako, Shell, Gigi, Toko, Saber Leo, Platinum Numemon, and then another Mimi. Continuing on. Gazi, Ogre, Kodokugu, Megadra, Fang, Chew, Bumblewhack, Bao, Tane, Emissary of Hope, and we end up hitting a new card in the form of Goldramon for pretty much Vaccine, and or 4-grade Dragon, or the new 4-grade, or as new 4-grade Dragon support. With Goldramon having the on-play and 1 Digivolving, you get to play a Amon of Crimson Flame, a red Digimon with 6000 DP with Rush token, and then a Umon of Blue Thunder, a yellow Digimon with 6000 in blocker token. Then when this Digimon would Digivolve or leave the field for null turns, when this would Digivolve or leave the battle area, delete one of your Amon and Umon, and if this effect deletes, you get to recover 1 security. And behind that, we end up hitting another good super rare hit in the form of the new Brigademon for Digipolice / D-Brigade. With Brigademon reading being a 12 cost for evolution of level 5, meaning you get to delete up to 7 play costs totals worth of opponent's Digimon, and then during the opponent's turn, all of your Digimon with D-Brigade gain blocker. And end of turn, you top deck 3 from your deck, and then play up to 7 play costs total worth of cards with D-Brigade or Digipolice trait among them without paying cost and then trashing the rest. In this case, furthering building into the D-Brigade's, well, Digipolice's new, and the D-Brigade's own swarming and going wide. In this case, Brigademon ends up bolstering that as you pretty much create more shields during your opponent's turn off of, well, this passive effect. Though obviously that requires Brigademon to be on the field in order for it to be active. Continuing on. Poison Ivy, Gobbly, Gecko, Veggie, Dame, Okua, Dokugu, Buka, Marinanja, Black King Yume, Placemon, and the new Etamon, who is pretty good in the poop deck as well, or pretty much an Etamon deck. Well, you could go either in that sense, as 7 play cost, and then cost 4 for off of evolution from 4. Or you could Digivolve for 3 off of a level 4 Suka name, and having the security effect, if you have 3 or more cards with Suka in their names in your trash, you get to play a level 6 Digimon with Etamon in its name from the hand without paying the cost, which pretty much allows you to either hit another of this copy that's in the hand, or one or a different Etamon. And then on delete, you get to place this card at the bottom of your security stack, essentially allowing to self-reoccur as the last security. Well, continuing on. Yep, and I think we ended up hitting a very special card in this case. Digimon, DCD Bomb, Marching Fishes, Gatsu, Uni, Vade, Lugar, Lugar, Centauru, High Commandra, and we end up hitting a new Loogamon card, the form of Loogamon, the true evolution before Fenrir Luga. In this case, Lugar has the one Digivolving, allowing you to play a level 3 or lower card with the Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos traits from trash without paying the cost. And then if AG's in this card's Digivolution cards, you get to add 1 to the level this effect may choose. When attacking, trash a card in hand to gain 1 memory, which already plays on if you go straight forward with the Loogamon line. With the Inheritable, when you play a card with Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos trait, you get to unsuspend this Digimon, which ends up playing into pretty much the OTK aspect of the Fenrir Loogamon deck, as pretty much this allows you to pretty much unsuspend and go for another attack, and becomes especially deadly given that AG gives Alliance while being a Digivolution card. And as I suspected, the card we get here is the new Loogamon Ace card, with pretty much the Ace cards having this neat new effect to them. Well, going over the stats, Loogamon Ace has a play cost of 4 and Digivolves for 3 off of a level 4, and gets Digivolve for 3 off of a level 4 Greymon instead. And having the and being an Ace card, it has the Blast Digivolve effect, allowing your a Digimon to Digivolve into this without paying the cost. And then on play and when Digivolving, you get to delete 1 of your points Digimon with 6,000 DP or less, as pretty much that, which ends up guaranteeing a pop regardless, given how this is such a cheap cost for level 5, and and then pretty much the same cost for going up into it normally. And with this having the Ace, it also comes with the overflow effect of -3. Essentially, if this card were to leave the field, you lose 3 memory, as per pretty much to be expected with overflow with the Aces. Well, continuing on. Yep, and we got another awkward grip. Yep, and we got that freed. Panja, Mega Flame, Kuwaga, Gesso, Heaven's Knuckle, Choo Choo, Tricera, Tyranno, Buka, Bao, Digipolice Nume, and another Satsuki Tamahime. Well, we're down to the last 4 packs of the first box. And let's keep trekking on. Dada, Monochrome, Kokatori, Marine Devi, Kokua, Skull Seta, Olek, Shogun Gecko, Suka, Black King Nume, and the new Leomon for pretty much the Leomon package for green, and Skull Greymon. Down to the last 3 in this box. And another awkward rip. And I end up swallowing myself again. Great. Yiza, Kune, Otamama, Mega Flame, Vade, Mega Draw, Dokugu, Marine Anja, Tane, Wave Reliability, Devimon, and we end up hitting Digimon Ace, who is also level 4 and evolves for 3 on top of a blue level 4. And well, Digimon gets to blast Digivolve. And then on play and when Digivolving, gets to trash any 2 Digivolution cards from the opponent's Digimon. Then return opponent's Digimon with no sources to the hand. And well, given that how this is one aspect to go with blue, this Digimon actually is actually a good staple card for blue decks, given that, well, you're able to pretty much have targeted source removal on the opponent and then getting to bounce a card, bounce a non-sourced Digimon on the field, on the opponent's field to hand. Well, continuing on, down to the last 2. Chu, Rain Devi, Lugar, Ogre, Choo Choo, Okua, Marching Fishes, Koro, Toko, Blooming of Sincerity, Greymon, and Ikakumon. Well, on to the last pack. Pixie, Tricera, Veggie, Monochrome, Gecko, ECD Bomb, Kokatori, Gigi, Toge, Tsuka's Curse, Seraphimon, and Goldramon. Well, that's it for the first box. Let me clean up first, and then we'll get to the second one. And continuing on, let's crack into the second box. Oh. Obviously, we already know what comes here. Well, let's see what we get from the promotion pack and survey pack. Cracking into our promotion pack, we end up getting a foil Tandemon. Well, going into our survey pack, it looks like we got an ace card in the form of Rust Tyrannomon Ace. Further supporting pretty much Rust Tyrannomon by giving them an ace card. With this having play cost of 7 and gets to Digivolve for 4 off of green level 5 or off of level 5 Tyrannomon name at the cost of 3. Getting to blast Digivolve, and then having the when Digivolving of suspending all the opponent's Digimon with DP less than equal to this Digimon. And then all turns, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted in battle, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Pretty much being adding a stackable ability with pretty much the Rust Tyrannomon, who also does the same if response to deleting a Digimon in battle. Well, let's crack on into these packs once again. Kokatori, Gotsu, Mega Flame, Poison Ivy, Tricera, Shell, Dokugo, Dino Rex, Emissary of Hope, Dragon of Courage, Rosemon, and TK. Siako, Gazi, Uni, Guaga, Ek, Giza, Sunam, Reliability, Delusion, Missy, Goldra, and Etta on. Dokugu, Mega Flame, Gobbly, Zunkle, Lugar, Pixie, Ogre, Tsuka's Curse, Black King Nume, Marine Anja, Leo, and the new Monzemon. Who gets to evolve, who has a 7 cost, evolve 4, off of a yellow, level 4, or Digivolves off of a Numi name for the cost of 3. Has Armored Purge, and then on play, get by placing a Digimon with Numemon in its name from your trash as this Digimon's bomb evolution, gain 2 memory. Then giving the security, the inheritable of if this Digimon has Monze or Nume in name, it gains security +1. Nope. Moving on. Monochrome, Gesso, Kokua, Skullseta, Elec, Giza, Kune, Gigi, Buka, Tane, Numemon, and we end up hitting Melgreymon Ace again. Tracking on. Fang, Gilzy, Bade, Dokuga, Gecko, Okua, Megadra, Haikamandra, Tyranno, Buka, Ikakumon, and an AG again. Moving on. Marching Fishes, Dame, Data, Dokukuga, Poison Ivy, Okua, Choo Choo, Dragon Courage, Koro, Pelugar, TK, and we end up paying another secret rare in the second box. In this case, being the secret rare Angemon. In this case, gets to Digivolve off of level 3 for the cost of 3 memory, or Digivolves off of Patamon for a cost of 2, and then on attack, by doing this Digimon, you get to activate one of the effects below. One effect being, place your opponent's Digimon with Virus trait at the bottom of their security stack, or one of your opponent's Digimon gets DP minus 5,000 for the turn. And then on delete, you get to place this Digimon at the bottom of your security stack. Then if you have a tamer, you may hatch in your breeding area, which then plays into Vaccine as well. Oh, and now that I'm looking at it, I believe this is actually a alt-art, if I remember. If not, then it's just a regular secret rare. Well, back on topic. It also gives the inheritable of on delete. You have to place a yellow card with vaccine traits from your hand to the bottom of your security stack. Further playing into pretty much the vaccine deck's emphasis on playing on with your security. Well, continuing on. Dame, Kokatori, Marching Fishes, Choo Choo, Monochrome, DCD Bomb, Dokuga, Bao, Wave Reliability, Suka, Satsuki, and Mimi. Gatsu, Tanja, Siako, Fang, Kua, Dokuga, Chu, Shogun Gecko, Tane, Green Angie, Joe, and we end up hanging the alt-art for box in the form of, well, Commandramon. And well, placing this down so I could grab the one that we pulled earlier. Here is pretty much the comparison. In this case, we end up having a squad of Commandramon pretty much ready for a breach from the looks of it. And that ends up being one of the best hits from the set. Our best hit here. Well, tracking on. Yep, and we end up hitting another snag. Yep. Spell myself there. And let's make some more clearing. And it. Crack on. Ogre, Shell, Uni, Panja, Gobbly, Marine Devi, Pomawak, Marine Anja, Koro, Toko, and then Cargo Draw, and Platinum Nume. Last, running on to the last two. Right side. Gobly, Tomama, Gokua, Giza, Skullsata, Alek, Kune, Buka, Marine Anja, Black King Nume, Monzemon, and Agumon again. And then last pack for the right side. Gecko, Dame, Kodokuga, Ogre, Choo Choo, ECD Bomb, Vade, Ghoul, and I'm spoiling myself again. High Commandro, Terreno, Plesio, and Joe. Oh, cracking into the left side now. As we round off this unboxing. Pummel Whack, Chew, Gesso, Monochrome, Mega Draw, Marching Fishes, and I'm spoiling myself again. Veggie, Gigi, Blooming of Sincerity, Halugar, Devi, and another Loogamon. That makes half a playset of Lugar for me. And well, let's track on. Fang, Panja, Marine Devi, Okua, Heaven's Knuckle, Lugar, Gobly, Darkwing's Delusion, Suka's Curse, Missy, Monze, and another Lugar. Continuing on. Data, Fish, Dame, Monochrome, Gazi, Megadraw, Kune, Koro, Toko, Toge, AG again, and we end up hitting another lucky hit with what's essentially our third Digipolice Commandramon. Well, let's keep on going. Uni, Kodokuga, Gobly, Shell, Ogre, Choo Choo, Marine Devi, we have Reliability, Suka, Ebe, Seraphimon, and again, followed by Goldramon. And continuing. Veggie, Gecko, Kokotori, Gesso, Vade, Heaven's Knuckle, DC Bomb, Tyranno, Buka, Bao, Greymon, and Ikaku. Giza, Alek, Ultima, Skullsata, Kokua, Pixie, Data, Centauru, Saber Leo, Black King Nume, Seraphimon, and we end up hitting SR Patamon again. Well, continuing on. Kawaga, Mega Flame, Boma Whack, Serum, Poison Ivy, Lugar, Pixie, Lugar, Centauru, High Commandra, Leomon, and Skull Greymon. Kawaga, Syaku, Data, Pixie, Lugar, Tricera, Chew, Ebe, Shogun Gecko, Tane, Edamon, and we end up hitting something new with Loogamon Ace. Same thing as Zudo and Greymon, Melgray, 4 cost, 3 Evolution, Blast Digivolution, and then on play 1 Digivolve. Spend 1 of your points Digimon, then you may return 1 of your points suspended Digimon with 5,000 DP or less to bot deck. Well, continuing on. Kodokuga, Kawaga, Fang, Kokatori, Gazi, Panja, Tricera, Bao, Tane, Story of Hope, Nume, and then another Satsuki. And down to the last 4 for this box. Gecko, Tricera, Chu, Veggie, Fang, Kawaga, Gatsu, Saberleo, Centauro, Toko, Skull Gray, and then Genai. Well, down to the last 3. Yep, spoiling myself again. Very noticeable side as it's leaking over. Ultamama, Gatsu, Veggie, Mega Flame, Poison Ivy, Zunkle, Gesso, Eve, Ghoul, Emissary of Hope, Cargo Dramon, and we end up hitting Zudomon Ace again. And then on to the last 2. Kokua, yep. Kune, Ultamama, Shell, Marine Devi, Pummelwhack, Gazi, Suka, Toge, Dynarexmon, Leomon, and we end up hitting another Brigadramon. Well, on to our last pack. Let's see what we end off in this opening with. Siako, Panja, Uni, Vade, Megadra, DCD Bomb, Kokatori, Shogun Gecko, Blooming of Sincerity, Bao, Tai, and another Sofrimon. Well, all in all, that has been my double opening for the Digimon TCG BT14 Blast Ace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to help with the algorithm. And this is Cyberjaw, signing off.